What are the biggest lessons you've learned from the Amber Heard / Johnny Depp trial? I learned that some people don't know the difference between pledging and donating. So are idiots. She knows the difference. It just makes her look bad to admit that she does. If she admits she knows the difference, she has to admit she did not donate after pledging. This makes her look cheap and look like a liar. Also, since she has probably stated that she donated the money under oath, this might even open her to perjury charges. Also, she would have to admit that she pledged the money only for the positive publicity and not because she had any positive motive in mind. I can't believe she tried to pull their synonyms. If she really thought they were synonymous, she would have just answered yes when asked, "Did you donate the money?" And yet somehow she knew not to. She was pretty brazen about trying to use them synonymously and used a very poor equivalency of buying a house and not paying for it all at once. However, the seller does get all their money and the mortgage lender sits in between. So she is wrong in every way. Her continual lying and reframing about everything cannot be allowed to stand. That Vanessa Paradis is a classier lady. I'm glad she and the kids are doing better. Was she a character witness for Johnny for the trial or something? Genuine question. I have only skimmed the updates on this trial. No, she was not. None of his exes were brought to the stand. Which is weird, because his lawyers keep bringing up how none of them have a bad word to say about him. I believe they couldn't bring them because it wasn't relevant. That YJD lawyer was happy when I mentioned Kate Moss by name. I believe they will try to bring her since she became relevant because of that. That it must be incredibly isolating, having his level of fame, surrounded by people all the time, telling you where to go and how to dress. But when he spoke of his island and opened with something along the lines of "I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I own an island and it is the only place on earth I can be myself," I was very sad for him. He also called his guitar playing the only thing that was really good in my life. He's got 2 kids. He said apart from my 2 kids multiple times when talking about the guitar. That a mega pint is a unit of volume, and I should start asking for that at a pub. If a megabyte is 1,000,000 bytes, then logically, Gush is an alcoholic. That men being the victim of domestic abuse is not taken seriously unless it's a millionaire actor, and even then it's still a joke to a lot of people. I got a little sick in my stomach when the abuse expert said that, sure, men can be abused, but only by other men, and sure, women can be the abuser, but only if the victim is a woman. Men abused by women don't exist, though. I'm paraphrasing. But she was very insistent. What a ref idiot. Women usually abuse in different, yet heinous ways. Emasculating you, gaslighting you, insulting you in front of friends. To say women can't abuse makes this person an imbecile, not any expert. That I really don't give a ref about celebrities. Same. But only that last really. The other 2 I knew about before this. Strike everything after the first. Really? Can't believe I'm not seeing this in the top comments. That if Yuso is abusive in any way, get a recording of it. The fact that we have real audio evidence of Amber admitting to hitting Johnny could very well be the deciding thing in this whole case. No, it won't. This isn't a criminal trial to determine if Amber abused Johnny. It's a civil trial to determine if Amber slandered Johnny. He already lost this same claim in England that has a lower bar for slander than the US. So this case is very likely to rule in Amber's favor. Proving Amber was abusive doesn't prove that she is slanderous. 2 different incidences. The case in England was Johnny Depp suing The Sun over the first article they wrote calling him a wife beater. The second case is about a op-ed Amber Heard wrote for the Washington Post. Since they are 2 different articles and they are considered 2 different offenses, the second one was partially written by Amber, so Johnny has a better chance of winning this one. Celebrity is a deeply sad existence, with no privacy. I cannot believe this trial was public. I saw a few minutes of it, and it felt like I was intruding. While I'm glad men's abuse is getting some recognition, this stuff is really none of our business. You know what? This trial was requested to be public and live streamed by Johnny Depp. Why? Well, this is what a man needed to risk to get himself to clear his name. I cannot unheard that Amber Heard taunt him that no one will believe he is a victim of abuse. This is just sad. To listen to your gut if there are red flags being raised. Also, don't stick your D in crazy. It might be fun for the few minutes, but the crazy will still be there. I wonder if Johnny saw the red flags. Only black flags. I hope the society learns that women can be an abuser of domestic violence. Society might for a week, but then it'll just forget. I work in hours at a company near a homeless shelter and I've heard some stories. Seen some things. I supervise a lot of people who are just trying to rebuild their lives. The problem is a lot of men who are the actual abusers will start crying foul more. I mean, I guess it kind of already does. All I know is that I've never been in an abusive romantic relationship, and I don't want to be in one. Now, familial relationships, where the woman is the abuser, my grandmother would like a word with you. That people don't understand it's a defamation trial, not abuse. Life's too short to date crazy people. That I remember first watching Johnny Depp on 21 Jump Street when I was a kid, and now for some reason he has an accent. When you own a Caribbean island, you're allowed a slight accent. It's all there in the deed. Money doesn't make you happy. Correction, money doesn't make them happy. Based. Document every single fight. Keep a file of every single injury. No, just decide to date someone who treats you nicely. Still document everything. I had zero evidence of her injuries. Maybe some photos that are questionable, that they show bruising. But no police reports. No medical reports. ESP after the alleged broken bottle in her vagina incident. All hearsay. That people can think they understand complicated issues from watching one-sided TikToks. They're only one-sided because that's the only side. Her side is just a void of lies that she keeps tripping over. Agreed. I know people in Hollywood are generally messed up, but I haven't heard anything about Johnny that's nearly on the level of Amber, and everything he did that was on same level turned out to be a lie. Also, the way Warner Brothers treated their actors was disgustingly disproportionate. The only reason Amber faced any consequences, which is just speculation, is because of backlash. Johnny Depp was cut from everything almost immediately over what turned out to be lies. Plus, if the roles were reversed, no one would be talking about what Amber did, and the news would be all over Johnny. I know Depp has substance abuse issues and is an emotional wreck, but don't act like men don't face any bias when it comes to being taken seriously in DA, which BTW Amber herself acknowledged in a recording. Amber is not clearly in the wrong, and that this isn't an example of said bias. She didn't even face consequences. Getting screen time cut down cold just been an artistic choice. She's still getting paid just the same. No more fecal matter. Imagine being a supermodel that plays with S in someone else's bed. I'm not a supermodel yet. Do you see me building towns and cityscapes with my poo? I just like the fact that they were accusing each other of pissing and shitting all over the house. But I think he should've stuck her face in it. If you find a deuce in the bed, save some for DNA sampling. The more I find out about famous people, the more I value my anonymity. In the words of Rick James, cocaine is a hell of a drug. They both need therapy. Johnny isn't completely innocent, but she was clearly in the wrong. Johnny is emotionally fucked up and has substance abuse issues. Amber is far, far worse. Don't trust women under any circumstances whatsoever. It's sad but true, man. I work in an office where I'm the only guy. You'd be amazed at the petty s they get up to and how much they gossip. Some of the s they talk about, if genders were reversed, would be considered sexual harassment by most. The average person is more concerned with a pirate's divorce settlement than a dozen food distribution centers burning down mysteriously. I know I should watch the news more often, but I don't, so please enlighten me, or at the very least tell me what to look up. Of course the administration is quashing that getting out. There's been dozens of food processing and distribution plants that mysteriously have burnt to the ground over the last year. I knew this before, but it's been reinforced. Televising trials is a terrible idea. It turns it into a circus for people to gawk at and post out of context clips, to be widely circulated and misunderstood. People will complain about transparency, but that can perfectly accomplished by transcripts, court reporters, and audio recordings. As soon as cameras involved, it gets perverted into this clusterfuck. A bad relationship with a bad woman will completely ruin your life. Why not just say person? Because men don't weaponize the system in the way that women do. Whether it's the courts, the police, or other men, women are good at crying and playing weak and letting white knights do the dirty work. Misogynistic. Anyone can ruin your life. Don't date women who poos in the bed and blames the dog, unless you're into that sort of thing. That I was emotionally abused by my ex. People will just jump onto any bandwagon. That no matter what crazy s they do, I still don't give a s.